A lot of the media out there about conservation deals with the how questions. How do we fix the problems that have already happened, and how do we prevent more from occurring? Every once in a while you come across some that deal with the why we enjoy the world so much and why we want to preserve it for our kids and grandkids. But there are deeper questions. There are questions that underpin all of that. And the book that I'm talking about today is over 50 years old, but it does a great job of addressing it from a phenomenal worldview. I'll share that title today on Casting Across. Hi, I'm Matthew of castingacross.com, where I explore the core and culture of fly fishing. It's important for this video that you know that this is not what I do full time. I do this for fun. I've been doing it for over 10 years, and I love putting together the articles, the videos, and the podcast. But in my real life, I'm a pastor, and that's why you see all these theology books behind me. There are a couple trout up there. And over there on one of those bookshelves, there's a section that deals with science, specifically biology, ecology, and environmentalism. And it all deals with those topics from a distinctly biblical Christian worldview. Now, I first started collecting those books as I was getting more involved in cold water conservation. And I was really doing my best to try to dovetail what I believe about the most important things in the world with what I believe about this very important thing, specifically protecting trout and where they live. And one of the books that I came across that was recommended to me is Pollution and the Death of Man: A Christian View of Ecology by Schaeffer. And this came out in the 1970s and has one of the most phenomenal covers of any book that I own. Schaeffer was a theologian, a philosopher, a pastor in the 20th century, both here in the United States as well as in Europe. Phenomenal life, very, very interesting man. He and his wife did some tremendous things. Probably best known for his book and corresponding film, How Should We Then Live? If you're interested in Western civilization, how we got here, I highly recommend that to you. So what does he do in this book? Well, it's a relatively short book, and he has dozens and dozens to his name. But in this title, he presents a biblical Christian view of creation, of nature, if you will. And he does so in a way that may be surprising to you if you're only familiar with kind of a caricature of the it's all gonna burn perspective that is unfortunately very, very prevalent in American evangelicalism. What he does is go to the Bible and also go to historically how Christians have looked at this stewardship mandate of taking care of creation. So he talks about that. Then he talks about some of the deficiencies of other worldviews and other perspectives. So regardless of where you stand, this is a great way to see a well-articulated biblical position and then maybe think about some of the flaws that could be in a view that you hold. He then goes into dealing with some of the issues of the day. So it's the 1970s. So we're talking about DDT. We're talking about litter, things like that. But they are very, very legitimate, and they were getting all the press back then. And so he uses those as case studies and particulars. He then moves forward into just talking about what are some important things that can be done, both on the ground and in messaging. Because again, the how matters, but the why is most important, because the how comes and goes. But the why is something that can be passed on from generation to generation. When it comes to taking care of anything from a trout stream to an entire country, then that's something that can't just be done by an initiative. It has to be something where there is buy-in. And where does that buy-in come from? It can't be by something temporal. It has to be by something eternal, something that transcends one person, one movement, one organization. And he presents that argument here. So again, very well thought out, very interesting. Regardless of where you stand from a religious perspective, this is a great way to get an introduction, and again, a very well written introduction to a historic Protestant perspective on taking care of the earth, as well as maybe even just he broadens it out, especially towards the end of the book, to including some ancient Catholic perspectives on this very same issue. So, questions about pollution and the death of man, let me know. Questions about kind of what I believe, happy to hear those as well. But I just want to read this short piece from the end of the book. He says, "What shall we do? No one yet knows. Unless we think about fundamentals, our specific measures may produce new backlashes more serious than those that are designed to remedy." which is a great summary of this book and summary of a worldview that knows that there is objective truth, and we can apply that to our lives. We can apply that to conservation. So for where you can buy this book, which you can get this edition if you go digging through used bookstores, or you can get the much more bland second or third printing, I will put a link in the notes of this show below. Then head over to castingacross.com for 3 posts a week on the people, places, and things that go into the pursuit of fish.